Welcome back to the Harness Racing Update video recap of the 2022 Standardbred Horse Sales Company auction. I'm Heather Vitale. Now, saying that Monday's first session for the yearlings was successful, well, could be an understatement, but describing it as record-breaking, now that's a little more accurate. Before we find out if day 2 can be described the same way, we went by Foxton Farm to check out a yearling who's been getting a lot of attention. Tom, you have got a horse, hip number 297, Practical Landing, and he is turning a lot of heads. So tell me about him. Obviously, we'll start with the breeding, and I figure a Tactical Landing.
Right. He's a Tactical Landing colt. A new consignor of mine, Montego Farms in Pennsylvania, consigned the horse. And I've been coming here for 40 some odd years, and every year a story kind of evolves and makes it unique. And this year it happens to be the pretty horse. And so he's getting a lot of attention. Aaron Ray, who does the videography on so many of these horses, said he got so many hits. That was my first idea, that he was getting so much attention. And oddly enough, I get a lot of people come over and say, my wife sent me over here to look at this horse. So I think the females are driving the interest behind the, so whether these guys are going to step up and satisfy the women, I don't know. But he's a very popular horse, for sure.
They say, happy wife, happy life. So, here's
your opportunity.
Exactly. Let's talk about the history of Foxton. Now, I know that you and your wife, Linda, have known each other for quite a long time.
Like 100 years? I don't. I grew up in a hardware business, and she grew up on a dairy farm. And early on, we got married in the 60s. I just finished college and a stint with the National Guard. And we started with a bare piece of ground. We built a residence in Frederick County, Maryland. And we had an interest in horses. She showed in local horse shows. And then we fox hunted with some local hunt clubs. And when Jackie was born, my daughter, we opened a riding school so we would have something to do with the farm. And that led from one thing to another. I taught an equitation course for Western Maryland College at the time. It's McDaniel College now. So we had a need for horses, and we were buying and selling horses at the Allers auction in Thurmont, Maryland. And Joe Aller, who owned the auction company, was in partnership with Charlie Keller with a few horses. So that was our association with Charlie and the Standardbreds. We started helping Charlie at a couple of the sales, and then I met Phil Tully. And I was working for Tully and the Garden State Sales Company and the Woodstock Agency for years. And then when Phil passed on, we started our own consignment company. And like I said, we've been coming here for 40 some odd years in some capacity, and probably 20 some as our own agent, the farm agent.
So tell me about Foxton today, because it's in Maryland, correct?
It's in Maryland, in Frederick County, Maryland. It has a 40-some stall barn, has a stud barn, has a breeding shed, has a laboratory. We have tons of equipment. We foal about 50 mares a year right now. At one time we did 100. Don't plan on doing that many anymore at my age, but we do 50 a year, breed about 100 mares a year. So.
And who was the buyer of that flashy trotter, hip number 297, when the gavel dropped at $15,000? It was Mark Ford, signing the papers for the roan colt, Practical Landing. There was also a trotting filly who was not only eye-catching with her stunning looks, but also hand-raising, as Alista Hanover, hip number 277, brought $240,000. The chestnut daughter of international money was purchased by Lynn Curry and consigned by Hanover Shoe Farms. Just a little later, another trotting filly, Volcanic Blue Chip, made an eruption on the bidding board as the daughter of Walner sold for $325,000. Blue Chip Farms consigned the high-priced lass, who was bought by Aki Svanstedt. Among the yearlings purchased by the Swedish horseman was also hip number 301 for $95,000. Bluebird Pyramid was consigned by Northwood Bloodstock. Aki, yesterday on day one, you bought 4 horses, spent over $400,000 between the 4. Today, though, is really when you were making your mark, right? You bought that $325,000 filly. Tell me about her. Why did you like her?
Yeah, I like the horse, of course, and I like the family. I have the family of the mother. I have trained Blanche Blue Chip and Splash Blue Chip out of that family, so that was the reason, maybe.
So her name is Volcanic Blue Chip, and did you go to the farm several times to go look at her?
No, I look at the video and then I look at her here on the sale, so yes, that's how I'm doing. I don't have time to go to the farms and look, we're so busy with the racing.
That's true, because you got a big stable. How many are you training?
We start up the year with 75, 80 horses, but then it's less now.
Right.
Now we buy new horses.
Now another one that you bought today for $95,000 is actually a colt, and a 6-pack colt, right?
Yeah, that was a 6-pack, and the mother is a half sister to Perfect Spirit that I won the Hamiltonia with, so of course I must buy that horse.
Now I know that you work side by side with Sarah, your wife, so do you call her and say, hey Sarah, this is what I bought, or what do you think?
I think she already looked at what horses I buy.
Just curious, I'm wondering if that phone rings, says, yep, I'm bringing home another one, this was $325. So how many more are you going to buy today?
I'm looking for one more.
The Trotters, however, didn't completely take over the spotlight on day 2. A pacing colt consigned by Twin Brook Farm named Twin Bee Predator brought $310,000. Hip number 391, a son of Captain Treacherous, was signed by Noel Daly. I am at an elated Twin Brooks Farms consignment, and everyone here is so happy. What just happened? This is amazing.
Well, we blew it out of the park today, I guess. We just had a colt go through the ring at $310,000, which just blew us away. It is just absolutely fantastic.
So I know there's been a lot of tears. We can see your face is a little bit red. And don't you cry, because you're going to make me cry. Because I know this horse is very special. You introduced me to a gentleman a couple minutes ago. And tell me, who is he?
So the gentleman is our Uncle Jack McNiven, who owns Killeen Acres in Ontario. He run the table for years, and before that he had Dallas Elmhurst. He started way back in the 50s, and in the 60s, I believe he worked for Elmhurst Farms in Kentucky, and is best friends with Albert Adams. And Albert and Uncle Jack are twins. They are the most beautiful gentlemen you'd ever want to meet. So Uncle Jack hasn't been to the sale in over 10 years. He went and got his passport expedited last week so he could get into the States, and he wanted to come down and join us, and he came to join us, and I'm so thrilled that he's here, because he's one generation, we're the next, our daughters who help us are the next, our grandson who's 3, who everybody knows in here, Kingston.
Yeah, everybody knows Kingston, just saying. One last thing, I know she's a busy lady, she's got a horse coming up, so I got to let her go, but why do you think the horse went for so much money?
If I could answer that question, I'd be a millionaire, because I could make it happen again. But, you know, the pedigree was there, the looks were there, and when it takes 2 people to like them, and I think we had 3 or 4 people that really liked them. So, you know, that's all it takes, and it's a horse sale. Anything can happen.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for your family. Hi, Kingston. Can we see Kingston down here? Hi, Kingston, and we're so happy for Kingston. Say yay! Yay! All right. Thank you. Give me a hug.
Thank you.
Okay, Dale. The end of session 2. Now, I do know we are up in gross from last year, correct? Right. So what do the numbers look like?
A little over 2 million. We're still up in gross overall for both days. Average, we're down down some. We're down about 7% for today, and we were 8% yesterday. But we've sold 86 more yearlings total in the 2 days too, and that makes a difference. You know, it makes a big difference. But overall, very happy with both days. Very happy. As I said last night, and should be seen today, there was horses today that could have been sold yesterday. But overall, it was a great day. I mean, it's been a great sale.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this video recap of day 2 from the Standardbred Horse Sales Company auction here in Harrisburg. Of course, for complete coverage, you can go to harnessracingupdate.com. I'll see you back here tomorrow. I'm Heather Vitale for HRU.